What is going on YouTube, and welcome back to Vancouver's worst drivers. Let's start this video off with a whole bunch of car crash clips. I think there's about 12 crash clips for this video, starting off with this one from Howells55. This guy has gotten a bunch of car accident clips right in front of his house, but this has got to be the craziest. This white SUV runs the stop sign and T-bones his other vehicle, flipping it over. And this was actually the view from the guy who was driving the car, Andrew Yim, flipping upside down. What an insane crash. And then up next, we got this clip where Maggie captured this red light runner crashing into the Civic, or I guess you could say the Civic crashing into them. Hopefully nobody was injured from this, but I guess this is what happens when you run red lights. I can only imagine ICBC employees watching this video after the fact and just shaking their heads at the amount of carnage created just because someone wasn't paying attention. This video is just a life lesson for all of us, not to rush things when we're driving. Just take your time, make smart decisions, and then you don't end up in situations like this. I know some of you are going to say, well, this driver ran the red light, so he's going to be at fault. And some of you guys are going to say the other driver should have waited till the intersection was clear. Let me know in the comment section below what your opinion is on this crash. So take a look up in the intersection ahead. Looks like this driver turns left and hits the front end of another SUV turning. Kind of a bizarre situation here because it's kind of hard to see whether they just turned late or did they run the red light. Riley Lowe's friend sent in this video where this RCMP officer is backing up in the middle of a road for who knows what and just ends up smashing right into the front end of their vehicle. Like, what a facepalm moment right there. When Brendan sent in this video to me, he said that the Civic ended up lying to ICBC, saying the Civic driver, he was talking about himself, was driving in the left-hand lane the entire time and Brendan was tailgating him. Well, unfortunately for him, the Dashcam shows otherwise, but what's interesting to me is people point out on Instagram, this white SUV cuts into that lane, so why didn't the Civic driver just say he got caught off? I don't know. Driving fast and wet roads is a bad combination, which is best demonstrated by this silver SUV up ahead. Keep your eye on the red car on the right. They're going to try a pretty ballsy move. They're going to cross all these lanes of traffic. You know, these two lanes are good. The problem for them is they didn't check the far left lane there, and that Chrysler just pulls up right alongside everybody and bam, right in the front end of their SUV. And then this silver car to the left forgets to shoulder check. And I feel like shoulder checking is one of those things in Vancouver that just nobody does, yet they're so important. This is a pretty scary crash that could have ended very badly, but fortunately, the white car here actually did stop and wasn't hit and run, but could have been avoided if they weren't colorblind. I feel sorry for Curtis because it looks like he's having a hard time leaving this building here. First of all, you got this driver trying to overtake on a double yellow, which is a big reason why you don't overtake on a double yellow, especially if you can't see other drivers coming around you. And then, again, this is a different day coming out of his building, and then this Lincoln is just driving down the wrong street without a single care in the world here. I can just picture this driver up ahead being this 9-year-old lady driving super slowly. You can see here she narrowly avoids an accident, crossing over a solid white line, and then proceeds just to drive like 20 kilometers an hour. Alright, so this is a slightly longer clip, but I wanted to show the whole clip to show you how impatient and how quickly I would lose my mind in this situation if I was here or if any of you guys were here. This was about a minute and a half long clip. Ruggiero gets cut off by this driver who's just adamant on just being in that spot. And this entire time, he doesn't honk, he doesn't yell, he doesn't do anything. He is just like, has patience of Gandhi here, where this driver just is parked right in front of him. Now she's on her phone, now she's just camping out. I could watch her, just see her just set up a tent, set up a barbecue, you know. And this entire time, Ruggiero does nothing. He is just cool as a cucumber. Like, this guy needs to teach anger management classes because he just has infinite patience. Here's a good old wave. Oh, I'm so sorry, I almost hit you, running the stop sign. Like, don't even bother doing that, man. You've already pissed off people. Although I will say I would rather deal with the blue car than this driver who almost hits Wilson and then flips him the bird for, I guess, going on a green light. Not really sure why the other driver is upset here. So this is kind of a bizarre road rage clip because Justice explained to me that there doesn't really look like any prior incident to this that would lead to these people arguing, but nevertheless, they decide to start arguing in the middle of a road. My guess is it's the Tesla driver arguing about who's the worst driver, Tesla drivers versus Audi drivers. He's like, no, Audi drivers are the worst. And then this Audi driver like, no, Teslas are worse. And then Audi guy is getting heated as well. And then for whatever reason, this Toyota pulls up and he's probably saying Tesla and Audi drivers both suck. And he wants to add his 2 cents as well. So what a complete mess in the middle of a road. Like, children, do this somewhere else, please. So 2 people sent me in footage from the exact same incident. Zed's up first with this close call right across from Metrotown. This van just doesn't see his vehicle, even though they're massive, they've got lights, and they've got sirens. But, you know, some people struggle with that. And then someone else filmed it from across the street at a different angle. Super close call. Glad nobody was hurt in this one. This is such a crazy and bizarre turn that almost causes an accident with Mateo. No signal, no nothing, but they're so adamant on trying to get into the far right lane there. If you're turning from the left lane, you might as well just go in the middle of the intersection and turn right. This incident was recorded on a cell phone camera where this driver is going the wrong way on Boundary Road. I guess that wall of cars coming toward them is kind of a hint like, hey, maybe you gotta turn around here. Mark also captures the driver going the wrong way late at night, and it's just, I'm seeing more and more of these videos, and I just don't understand how it happens. If a divider is on your right-hand side, you're doing something wrong. I can imagine being a bike messenger or bike delivery guy being dangerous, but what makes it more dangerous is when cyclists like this decide to drive against traffic in the middle of a road. And then this video kind of made me laugh. This guy who's renting his bike looks so offended at LM Spec for driving straight through, even though he had a stop sign back there. Alright, so we all know the stereotype that BMW drivers can't use their turn signals. There's always been a debate for a while, but here's a BMW driver who can use his turn signals. The problem is, he's using the wrong one. Alright, it's that time of the video where we show the close call clips, starting with this one from Brody, where this guy drives on the opposite side of a road, almost hits him in the process. And then this driver doesn't notice the fact that it's not a 4-way stop near Kingsway in Metrotown. And then this driver in the downtown east side just doesn't have their radar on. They're just still going, even though in the video Phoenix is honking at them, but nope, that's not going to stop them. They're going to go for it still. And then a couple of Teslas doing strange things, like this Tesla not making sure the intersection is clear before proceeding left. And then here's Windy Griller, who does kind of make sure the intersection is clear. The problem is this guy decides to run the red light. Jeremy has this close call in an ICBC in Surrey. I feel like ICBC parking lots must be a crash like hotspot because all these drivers are so nervous about going there for the road test, they're not even paying attention to other drivers around them. I've said this once, but I'll say it again. Driving is dangerous and it's also very, very expensive, as we all know. So when you drive like this, the likelihood of you paying a lot in insurance has got to be astronomically high. This video is pretty amusing to me because how many 3-lane left turn roads have you seen in your life? Personally, I haven't seen any, but this white SUV clearly thinks this road is. You know what's really helpful is when people use their turn signals, because then people like Daniel know what other drivers are doing around them, because this guy has no idea what's going on, and neither does Daniel because he's not using his turn signals. It's scary to think that drivers like this are out there on the streets because moves like this is how people die. So most of you guys probably saw this on the news, but this happened on Lougheed Highway where this Budweiser truck spilled beer all over the road. Most of you guys on Instagram said, not a big loss. And then this Tesla driver decided to use their shirt or a towel as this sunshade. The problem is, how is this guy supposed to shoulder check with that there? This photo was taken in Richmond, and it's kind of unclear whether there's a sign near the white van, but I love how in Richmond they literally have signs saying no vehicles on the sidewalk. Like, that's the only city in the Lower Mainland where they have to specify don't park up on the sidewalk, yet this person does and blocks the entire sidewalk in the process. And then lastly, a word of advice for new drivers: just because one vehicle is turning doesn't mean the vehicle behind them is turning. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like it, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. It would really help out the channel. Also, if you guys have dashcam footage anywhere in the province, even outside of Vancouver, you can email it to me at vancouverdrivingvideos@outlook.com. The email address is also in the description below.